All right, so Apple made an announcement about the iWatch today. I think Apple talked about it months and months ago, so a lot of people knew about it. And then they finally released all the details about the iWatch. And what really grabbed my attention, what grabbed a lot of people's attention, is the fact that they are releasing a watch that costs up to $17,000. A gold 18 karat watch, a digital 18 karat watch for $17,000. Starts at about 10 grand, can work your way up to 17 grand depending on the kind of 18 karat watch that you want and all the features that are included. Now, I think that this innovation is pretty amazing, you know, having a watch with all these capabilities, you know, and being able to send emails, track different kind of things, and simply do exactly what you're doing on your phone. And I think it's amazing to have something like that. But to spend that amount of money on a watch like that is ridiculous. Is utterly ridiculous. It's crazy how phones nowadays cost the same amount as a working laptop. A lot of people will go crazy when they think, oh my God, that laptop costs $1,500, or with those, that, you know, for example, I purchased a laptop, you know, you purchase a laptop that has a lot of specs, and has 32 gigs of RAM, and has a very fast processor, and has like 2 terabytes of hard drive space. And you start freaking out that it costs $1,500 or $2,000. Meanwhile, you can get an iWatch now that, you know, can start at $2,000, or you can get an iPhone, you know, an iPhone 6 Plus that I think the highest version costs $1,100. I mean, specs-wise and performance-wise, there is, you know, it's just a small fraction of what a laptop is and what you can do on a laptop and all the performance that goes into it. So I think it's amazing that us humans, the public, is willing to spend that kind of money on phones over, let's say, a laptop. I think a lot more people are drawn to getting a brand new phone over a brand new computer, where they can be a lot more productive, do a lot more on that computer than they can on their phone, and have way better performance. But that is the world that we live in. But that's not what I'm getting into here. The fact is that Apple introduced a $17,000 watch. Starts at $10,000, goes up to $17,000. And it's hard to I don't know how anyone can justify, unless you're, you know, billionaire or whatever, you have way too much money to spend. There is absolutely no justification of buying something like this. The only time when you are going for a watch that is above a really high, you know, above $1,000, let's say, and you are spending money on a watch that is above $1,000, or above $10,000, or above $20,000, most individuals that go for those watches treat it as an investment as well. So when you see a watch, for example, we'll take an example of a Rolex, a special edition Rolex, that costs, let's say, $10,000. Most of those special edition ones are limited edition, will actually go up in price over years. You know, let's say you buy it for $10,000, in 3-4 years time, because it is a special edition, limited edition, it's going to go up to $12,000, $15,000 over the years. Now when you take an iWatch, and first generation iWatch, that costs $10,000 to $17,000, I guarantee you, as soon as the next iWatch comes and it is in gold again, or maybe it's going to be in platinum or covered in diamonds next time, your little gold, 18 karat gold iWatch is not going to be increasing in value. In fact, it's going to be decreasing in value dramatically. It is going to plummet. So I'm just trying to really think of what is the reason to have a watch like that. to add to it, you have to charge this watch. Most watches that you buy for that kind of price, especially a fashionable watch like that, you don't have to charge. In fact, you don't want to even think about charging. You just want it to function properly all the time. In my opinion, if you're going to go for an iWatch, you should be going for something that is just practical and not necessarily $10,000 to $17,000. It should cost maybe the same price as an actual phone. If it's supposed to have the same capabilities and supposed to work the exact same way as an actual phone, it should probably cost the same amount as an actual phone. In fact, the screen is going to be much smaller. It's going to be much harder to actually use than a phone, because you're using one hand instead of using two hands for doing things. You're going to be using one hand, so therefore it's going to be less practical. So therefore, if I'm justifying this, I'm actually going to be wanting to pay less for this iWatch than a regular phone, if you are looking at it from a practical standpoint of view. I just think it's crazy that something like this came out. It boggles my mind. I don't know how. I'm sure there's going to be thousands of videos, thousands of stories talking about all this stuff, but I just discovered it, just found out about it, just read about it, and just wanted to voice my opinion. And I wanted to know your opinion on this. If you had $10,000 or $17,000 and you were to buy a watch, what'd you say? You know, obviously that money can go towards even a brand new car. But let's say you were to buy a watch. Would you buy the iWatch, or would you buy a very high class watch? So let's say a Panerai, a Patek Philippe, or a Rolex, or an AP, or something like that. What would you get? I'm curious. Write in the comment box below. Just wanted to voice my opinion. I'm Furious Pete. I just worked out. I'm tired, and I wanted to voice my opinion. Got a problem with that? Too bad. My channel, Furious Talks. You guys stay sexy, stay hungry, and of course, it's late.